Welcome back. All right, so some more news of the day for all you fine people on the internet for your Thursday, September the 5th. And we've got some PTOs to talk about, starting with the New Jersey Devils. They're bringing in Jacob Zboril as well as Michael Hutchinson on a PTO. Good for Hutchinson on getting a tryout. Old veteran goaltender. Good luck to him on getting some sort of contract, maybe playing in Utica. So they get tryouts. Also, the Ottawa Senators have added Kalen Addison and Nikolai Kulemin to tryouts. Kulemin hasn't played in the NHL, I think it's since 2019. So, you know, no risk to tryouts. Addison has been good at times at the NHL level. Really had a bad year this past season. But who knows? Maybe going to Ottawa, maybe he can turn that into a contract again. Maybe he can play in Belleville and get a call up. That kind of thing, right? Depth is always a good thing. So, those are your tryouts from today. I would imagine we'll see more of those as the month of September continues. The Anaheim Ducks have signed Oscar Dansk to a 1-year, 2-way contract. The contract is as follows: $775,000 at the NHL level, $150,000 at the AHL level, and it's $200,000 guaranteed. So for Dansk, who very likely ends up spending the season at the AHL level for the Anaheim Ducks, solid signing for both the team and for the goaltender. I like Dansk. I think he's all right. Again, as an AHL goaltender, definitely serviceable. Good news for Ottawa fans as well. It looks like the Sens are progressing in their talks to get the LeBreton Flats arena set up. That's what they've been talking about for almost a full year now. And so with the deadline coming up, I think it's on September 20th is the deadline to get some kind of a deal done. It sounds like it's progressing in that direction, and we'll have some kind of an idea for what the future is in Ottawa. The arena that they currently have a little far from downtown, LeBreton Flats, might be a little bit easier to access. And yeah, so all the best to the Ottawa Senators as they continue down this path. Michael Andlauer taking over as the owner, I think, is something we're going to look back, I would say, in like 5 years' time and say that was where things started to really get going for the Ottawa Senators. Rafai has signed a 2-year extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs. That kicks in next season. So he was on an expiring contract, 26-year-old defenseman, and he played 2 games with the Leafs last season. So this is just depth on the blue line, and it's good to have a player staying with your team rather than leaving your team. It's league minimum. There's no risk to the contract. So all the best to Rafai, and we'll see how many games he gets into this season with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Also in Toronto Maple Leafs news, Nick Robertson still wants out. Chris Johnston reporting that there's been no change of mind by Nick Robertson over the summer. A lot of talk about how there's room on the wing for him with Toronto if he signs. Maybe Robertson's been told that before though. Maybe Robertson's been through this enough with Toronto that he doesn't trust that he's going to get the ice time, that he's going to get the chance to play. And he's a talented forward. He's definitely got the offensive talent. I'd be happy to see him on any team that I root for, to be honest. And yeah, so we'll see what happens with Robertson. But at this point in time, it sounds like he still wants out. And for Toronto, apparently the asking price might be a little bit steep for some of the teams that might be interested. But we'll see what happens between now and opening night, because Robertson's going to want to be on a roster opening night, and Toronto's not going to want this to linger into the regular season. The PWHL post that there's a new era coming on Monday the 9th. Sounds like names and logos are coming. I did see a potential leak of those names. I really hope those aren't the names, so I'm not going to report that those are the names. But on Monday, if those are the names, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'm just going to say, and I'm not going to give out what the names are that have leaked at this point, but they're all singular. They're all singular in so like Kraken is an example of a singular name, which is fine for an occasional team here and there, but it's weird when they all do it, and that's the case with the PWHL and the names that I saw, and some of them I just don't think are great hockey team names, so we'll see if that ends up being accurate. We'll probably find out more between now and the 9th anyways. It's never a surprise when this kind of thing leaks out anymore. NBC Sports is not renewing Brody Brazil's contract. If you don't know who that is, he does the pregame and postgame for the San Jose Sharks, and he's done that for a long time. And so It's a shame. I've appeared on his YouTube channel a couple of times. Totally willing to go on his YouTube channel again as well. And this is just, it's another reason why when people say, hey, you know, THG should be on TV, my answer to that is no. Being on TV would involve probably having to move. It would involve probably having to change how I do things with the channel and all that. And then they can just let you go. They can just be like, yeah, we're not renewing your contract. And look how many broadcasters, just think over the last 5 years, how many broadcasters that people have really liked that end up out of work. How many color announcers, how many people that are studio personalities. They're just treated like they're interchangeable. And they're treated like we can just find another one or we want to look in another direction. And from the sounds of it and the speculation I've seen is that he also apparently has been covering the Oakland A's. Of course, the A's are moving to Sacramento. I don't know if there's a tie to that or not, but NBC Sports deciding to make a change there. And again, this is just part of the reason why I have no desire to be on television at any point, nor do I think that I'm in the demographic they'd be looking to hire for television at this point. I'm a little bit old. And so, yeah, all the best to Brody Brazil. He's a very good broadcaster. I am sure he will land on his feet, and he won't be looking for a job for very long. I wouldn't think, anyways. One thing about being in California, there's a lot of sports, there's a lot of TV, there's a lot of different areas to look at. I'm not saying that it's easy because it's not, but yeah, I have faith that he'll land on his feet and he'll figure this all out. And again, if he wants to have me on his show, I'd be perfectly willing to do that. And now he can just trash the Sharks if he wants to, if he's not going to be doing the pregame and postgame. So there you go. He can just trash the Sharks. He can just be, yeah, these guys are a bunch of bums, and I don't think this GM knows what he's doing. What are they going to do now? Fire me? Oh, NBC already did. So works out pretty well that way. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. And so we'll see what the PWHL announces on Monday and what the names and uniforms and logos look like. And if that ends up being a live stream, I'll probably do a live stream on the channel along with it so we can all react together. So looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.